Hey, 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 we're back. You're listening to my digital diary, and I have another guest. Please welcome Katelyn.
Hi. Hello.
This is Katelyn Lionheart. She is a college bestie of mine.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, actually one of my longest friendships, which is crazy to think about.
Yeah.
So, Katelyn, tell us a little bit about yourself, how we know each other.
Sure. I'm so excited to be here. I've been looking forward to this. I love listening to your podcast.
Thank you.
So I'm glad you had me on and that we can chat.
I badgered her to be on because we talked about having a podcast. It's going to be amazing. I already know.
Yeah, I know we had talked about it because every time we get together, we just laugh so much that we're like, dang, we should really record this. So I'm glad we're doing it. We know each other from school. I would say I felt like we met halfway through. Would you agree?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think I knew about you, but I didn't really know you well until about halfway through, and we became kind of close. So I'm glad we've stayed friends. It's been really fun. Let's see, about myself. I work as a catering manager here in Springfield. I'm married. I have 2 sweet doggies that I consider my own, and I grew them in my stomach, and I birthed them, and they're mine. And yeah, that's a little bit about me.
Love it. Well, she has brought not only a food, but also a drink. And I actually brought a drink this time. So we have lots to try today. We're actually both going to try these foods. She's already tried 2 of them, but yeah, so you're getting a special treat.
Okay, can I tell you about this food?
Yeah, tell me all about it.
So this is something that came back into my life recently because I was, I unlocked a childhood memory at the grocery store. Because I saw these Randall beans on the shelf that my mom used to buy all the time. They come in this giant jar, and they're Great Northern beans, but it's by this brand called Randall beans. And she used to cut up cabbage and fry that with bacon and put Northern beans in it and season it. And we ate that all the time growing up. And when I describe it to people, they're like, ew, that sounds disgusting. But I think it's really good, so I'm excited for you to try it.
It smells really good. It smells... the smell reminds me of the succotash you can get at Silver City.
Yeah, it's probably similar.
It smells like the bacon and spices. It smells good.
I think what weirds people out is the cabbage. But if you've had cabbage before and liked it, then...
Yeah.
I'm trying to get you a good bite on here.
Ooh,
is that too big of a bite?
No, I love it. Okay. So we've got the bacon... Yeah, the bacon and the cabbage and the beans.
I'm going to eat some of this with you. Because it's that good.
Alright, I'm ready.
You like it?
I really like...
You didn't spit it out?
No. I really like the seasonings and I love the bacon. I'm not really a bean girl unless it's in, chili.
Yeah.
So that was a little mushy.
Yeah. I think the texture could definitely get to some people.
Yeah, I think if it had a more of a crisp, or not crispy, but more of a tough, something that was a little bit tougher, like a meat or something I don't know,
versus mush.
But I really like the flavor.
Oh, good.
The flavor's good.
I know, I love this. I could eat this all day. But, the cabbage and the beans together is kind of a deadly combination, so you have to be careful not to eat too much. I almost took it for lunch today, because I made a big batch. And I was going to take some for lunch. I was like, well, maybe not.
Oh, no. It's the gift that keeps on giving. Well, thank you. That's so special. It's like a childhood family recipe.
I know. I talked to my mom about it. I was like, how'd you make that? Because in my mind, she just chopped it all up and made it really quick. And she was like, yep, that's basically what I did.
Wow.
And so it's easy to make, but
dang,
it's very reminiscent for me. So,
aw, love that.
You want to try the drink I brought too?
Yeah. So, explain what this is.
So this is pure cranberry juice. I asked you if you had had cranberry juice before, and you mentioned Welch's, which is, I think, cranberry flavored juice, and maybe has other juices mixed in. It's a lot sweeter. And this is just straight up cranberry juice, so no sugar, no anything else added. So it's kind of bitter.
Mm-hmm.
And then I like to put lime juice with it because, okay, so for a while I would come home from work and I would just crave this, like an ice
Oh.
cold cranberry juice with just lemon juice in it. And it's like so bitter and so sour, but something about it like almost like shocks like your nervous system, and it's like refreshing to me.
Okay.
And then I Googled it and I was like, because I was like craving a lot of citrus. I was also like eating like lemon slices, like chewing on like lemon slices and stuff like that.
Whoa.
And I Googled it, and if you're craving citrus, it usually means you're stressed.
Oh,
And
wow.
like it's like a indication of like anxiety and like
Oh.
I don't know. So like I guess I was like either stressed from work and that's why I wanted to come home and drink it, but
Wow. When I was the most stressed at work, I was introduced to a kind of oranges that were red on the inside.
oh yeah.
I can't. Kirsten would know. But I was eating those all the time. That's
Mhm.
crazy.
Yeah.
I was so stressed.
Yeah.
So how did you even try pure cranberry juice for the first time?
I'm trying to remember really the first time I had it. I guess I think I had seen on TikTok that it's got like health benefits and like put it in smoothies and it does this and that and the other and like that kind of stuff. And so like I had gotten some to try and didn't realize how bitter it was and didn't really finish drinking it then. But then later, like a year or two later, would crave it, which is really weird.
Interesting.
So yeah.
Right.
So fair warning, it's very sour.
So this has lime juice in it, not lemon juice.
Yeah, lime juice.
Mm. Okay, like it tastes good. I think if I like weirdly mix this with like alcohol, I think it'd be good.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I had something else, or
feel
like a lemonade maybe. I don't know, or like cranberry juice lemonade. I don't know.
I feel like it's a good alcohol substitute if you're really trying to cut out, because it's kind of got that bitter, like, I don't know how to describe it, like the bitter almost burn of like alcohol.
Yeah.
So like if you're really trying to like cut out red wine or like cut out something like that, it could be a good substitute. But
it's very interesting because you get both the cranberry and the lime.
Mm-hmm.
It just like punches you right in the face.
I think it's so refreshing though.
It really is. I get what you mean. It's like not the best experience drinking it, but then you want more.
Yeah. Like once you get it down, it's like,
yeah,
oh, that's nice.
Huh.
But I think most people like taste how bitter it is initially, and they're like, ugh.
It's very interesting. Wow. So do you normally drink this like just by itself, or like with like a snack, or what?
No, I mean sometimes I'll just come home and like crack it open, like like my mouth will be like watering thinking about it sometimes when I get home, and I just grab like just a little glass and make myself like half a cup.
Wow.
Oh,
that's very interesting. Very yummy.
I'm sure this will be much sweeter.
Oh yeah. So this is like the last Alani flavor I haven't tried yet. I don't plan on trying that weird pumpkin one that is either about to come out or is going to come out or has. I don't know. I don't like pumpkin, so
no, me either.
But the last one I haven't tried is the cotton candy one. I saw it on the shelves. I was telling Caitlin this. I saw it on the shelves, and I was like, ew, and then just like went about my day. And then everybody was like, this is the best thing ever. Like, I'm going to get like 6 cases. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then like when everybody started talking about it, not just like a couple of my friends, I was like, well, yeah, I want to try it. And then it was gone.
Gone forever.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, oh, and also we're discontinuing the flavor and you'll never try it again.
Yeah. Honestly. So then I was like, I have to try it. Even though I'm actually kind of like, this may be the worst idea because then I only have one more can.
Yeah. True.
And I'll never have it again.
Where'd you get it from?
So I ordered off of Walmart.
Oh, gotcha.
So like that one and the sherbet one, sherbet sorbet, I had to get both of those in like a pack.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was like $30.
Strange.
For like 6.
Yeah. I also love the Witch's Brew. That's the one that like I will buy cases of and cases of. I think I have like 20 in my pantry right now because I want to stock up on them and like keep them forever.
Yeah. I did try that one. Oh, it kind of freaks me out.
You didn't like it?
Yeah.
I think then I just have a thing for sour stuff, so it's like sour green apple. That's why I kind of like that one.
Yeah, and honestly, is the sucker? It's caramel on the outside, right? And then it's apple on the inside.
Yes.
So I think whenever I would get those suckers, I would suck the caramel and then just throw away the apple part.
Right.
So I don't know. And I think also just as a drink, I'm like, I've never had a caramel as like a drink that wasn't like coffee.
Well, that's why I'm afraid to try the pumpkin swirl one, because I'm like, what do you mean whipped cream as a liquid?
Carbonated.
Yeah.
Like,
a carbonated pumpkin cream. Pumpkin pie caramel. Yeah, no.
So I did manage to find 2 cotton candy Alanis.
I'm glad, because I haven't tried this one either, and I've just kind of put it off because I don't know. To me, it sounded like I wouldn't like it, but you never know until you try it.
And hopefully it comes back next year if we like it.
Right.
So, all right.
Okay, you ready? It literally tastes like cotton candy.
Yeah. Okay, I think I like it.
It's super sweet.
See, for me, it doesn't taste that sweet.
Really? Maybe it's just because I had the cranberry juice before, but...
Maybe. I think maybe because it's also sat here, and I don't feel like it's very carbonated.
I feel like it reminds me of a candy. Like, what kind of candy is that? I want to say, like, Sweet Tarts, but... Or not Sweet Tarts, like, Smarties.
Oh, yeah?
Does it kind of taste like Smarties?
Yeah. See, cotton candy, like, ice cream, not my thing. Like, actual cotton candy, I like.
Right.
So I didn't...
Yeah, like, I've had actual cotton candy, but anything cotton candy flavored, I wouldn't
like a sucker, like a... I'm like, ew, no, give me a real flavor.
Alright, I gotta wash that down with some beans. And bacon.
I actually like that. I feel like, honestly, it just tastes like sugar water.
Right.
So, anyway. Well, yay!
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna rank strictly on taste.
Okay.
Let's see. What do you call your food? Is there a name for it?
Not really. Like, we never really named it anything. It was just something that she would just make every once in a while. And we always just called it, like, the bacon cabbage bean thing.
So, I'm going to give that... It honestly... Okay, actually, the seasonings reminded me also of the pass-arounds at Lambert's when you get, like, the fried potatoes and onions. It reminded me of that same flavoring. Like, the spices. Yeah,
I use salt, pepper, and then Cavender's Greek seasoning. Which I use for a lot of different stuff because I feel like it's just like a well-rounded seasoning. So.
Yeah. I'm gonna give that one. I'm gonna give it a 5 because it tastes good, but yeah, it's just the texture.
Valid. I get it.
The cranberry and lime drink. I felt very fancy drinking it.
Yeah. The wine glass helps.
Yeah, yes, for sure. I think I'm gonna give that one. I'm gonna give that one a 6 because I kept going back.
Nice.
For it. I would just probably want a mixer. Just put something else in there.
Right.
Sugar water or something.
Some simple syrup.
Yeah. And
a stevia packet.
Honestly.
Something.
Yeah. And then the cotton candy Alani, since apparently sweet is my thing. Honestly, part of me wants to not rank it that high because it's going away. I don't know. Probably an 8 out of 10.
Wow.
Like, if this was on the shelves, I would have it in my fridge all the time.
Nice.
So,
I'd probably give it like a 5 out of 10. It's not my favorite, for sure.
Yeah.
But it's alright. I didn't spit it back out.
There you go. Yeah.
Which I thought I'd really not like it. So. It's good.
Yeah. Actually, the other day, I posted the sherbet sorbet flavor. I think that's what it's called. I don't remember.
Yeah.
On my Instagram story and tagged Alani and was like, I need y'all to stop making like seasonal flavors because this is top notch.
Right.
And then they commented.
Oh my God.
Or they like sent me a message. And I was like,
okay. Influencer queen.
Yeah. So like, I know. Katelyn goes, you should ask them to sponsor your podcast. And I'm like, oh, that's so
Do
scary.
it. I know. We could have had that drink for free instead of paying $2.49 for the
I
can.
know. I know. Can you imagine we have like Alani sweatshirts, Alani Jelly Cat, Alani?
It's your first sponsor and you have to mention it every 15 minutes. Or like, all right, here we go. We're going to take another break.
Yep, exactly. All right. Well, thank you for helping expand my taste.
Of course.
Let's get into our breaking news segment. So, kind of the basis foundation of our friendship was our time at C of O, or College of the Ozarks, if you don't know what that is.
COFO.
Hard work, you!
Hard work, you!
And so we thought, I know on the podcast we talked about college before, we've talked about marriage before, but it's different when you've actually gone to C of O like together, and because it is not your typical college experience.
Yeah, it's like trauma bonding. I mean,
honestly, I was telling Morgan, I think I was like, we all got along because we all bonded over the fact that we did not like it there.
Yeah, it's like even when the person you hate the most or like someone you don't get along with, like deep down you somehow forgive them because you understand they're going through what you're going through too.
Yeah, it was really nice not having like cliques or like some sort of hierarchy. We didn't have hazing, like we didn't have any of that.
Yeah, and it was small enough where you could like almost know everyone, but like you didn't like know everyone really well, but like you could recognize like everyone you passed. Like if you bumped into someone and started talking, it's like, oh, you're in this class, aren't you? Or like, oh, you're the floor above me, or we work together because of the workstations on campus. You meet a lot more people. So.
Oh yeah, and there were like, by the time it was like my junior year, I had like lots of people that I could like if I went to the caf by myself, like I could find someone to sit by.
Yeah,
and it wasn't weird or anything. So we kind of thought about how this is like the time of year where people are starting their classes, and whether they're in college or not, it kind of got us into like a nostalgic vibe, and we still need to try to go to homecoming one year together.
Yes, if it doesn't get rained out.
I know. Yeah, we've tried a couple of different times, and something always happens. But so we're gonna kind of talk about our experience at C of O and hopefully get you excited about college. Hopefully.
We're actually going to tell you a lot of horrible stories first about college.
We're going to trauma
dump. Encourage you, yes, literally the trauma dumping, and then encourage you to go out there and go to college. So.
Yes. So I want to start off with this question because sometimes my answer changes. If or when you have kids and they grow up to be college age, would you recommend College of the Ozarks to them?
That's so tough. And like you said, my answer changes all the time.
Yeah.
And I don't know, even as bad as it got sometimes and as crazy as it was and weird as it was, like I knew that in the long run I was benefiting from it by getting to graduate debt free, working for my education, not having to pay tuition, not racking up student debt. And I feel like it has really put me ahead financially.
Especially marrying someone in the same position.
Exactly. Yeah. Like considering we both don't have student debt, and then getting to put our income towards other things instead of debt like that is really nice. And it puts us ahead of some of our peers. And so like, that's definitely not lost on me. And I know it's like a huge blessing and some people would kill to have the opportunity. And like, either they just didn't know, or they weren't like encouraged, or they weren't like aware of like C of O or like options like that, or how serious like student debt was.
Yeah.
And so now they're just in a situation that they don't want to be in. So I don't know. I think it would depend on the culture of the school at the time, because I know the culture has changed a lot since we've been there, and they have a new president now, and I think things are a lot different. And so I'd probably send my kids there just because it really puts them ahead, and it's such a blessing to be out of debt like that. But there was definitely days while I was there, and I was like, why the hell did I choose this place? Why would anyone choose this place? Why am I here? Like that kind of thing. So
yeah, I think for sure, like, I used to at first be like, oh yeah, like my whole like generation is gonna go to C of O, and then it was like, oh my gosh, like it really was like messed up. And I think now I'm back to more of a balanced opinion of it, like, it really taught me about grit. It taught me how to live in a world where life doesn't go your way.
Yeah.
And
no snowflakes.
Trademark.
Yep.
And, you know, you can say a lot of positive and a lot of negative, but I really think that it did prepare us in a way that, I don't know. We'll get into it.
How did you find out about C of O and like what, I guess, made you apply?
So I was like I just take my decisions very seriously. Like in life, I don't do a lot of things that are spontaneous. And if I do, I know that I have a lot like to fall back on if it goes wrong or whatever. So, I went to every single college presentation. My junior and senior year of high school. And I mean, most of them were like, you know, I mean, MSSU had like half of the senior population in there, but all the other ones were like 5 to 15 people, and I was at every single one. And I just was like, I was taking notes. I was like, okay, you know, and then it got. First of all, can you imagine me sitting at Missouri S&T, their presentation? I was like, I want to be, and I definitely said this joke last week, but I was like, I want to be an engineer. I want to be an astronaut. I want to be a teacher. So finally, it was literally me and this girl Shelby Smith and a girl and Trey Gibson who did actually go, and maybe Logan Van Mine. I can't remember, but it was us, and we went to the meeting. And when he said that you didn't have to pay, I was like, this is fake. Like, this can't be real.
Yeah, what's the catch?
Yeah, and so I just remember we were all looking at each other. We weren't even really friends, but like we just were looking at each other like, this can't even be real. Like, this is insane. And like, how do I not know about this college? Because I lived in Joplin, and that's 2 hours away from Branson, but we always went to Branson and did stuff. But I immediately like took the stuff, went home, told my family about it, and they were like, we have to like do all this research. So we researched about it, and it was very much legit. And so then me and my mom went on campus, took a campus tour, and I go, it's like Silver Dollar City College, Mom. And like, I just felt so at home there. And I had been only on one other college tour. It was for U of A in Fayetteville, I think. And it definitely was very beautiful campus. But it I had been to a camp at MSU for 3 months for a fine arts camp thing. And it gave me the same vibe as MSU. I mean, okay, this is coming from someone who's never been to college before. So don't let me say that MSU and U of A are very similar, because they're not. But to me, it gave the same vibe as MSU, like, oh, I'm just a little kid showing up to this big college, and like, I don't really like, this isn't for me. This is too grown up, almost
Small
kind of a
fish
thing.
in a big pond.
And so coming to C of O, it just did not feel that way at all. And it just very much felt like, oh, like, and my home is nothing like C of O, but I just felt very much at home there. And honestly, the rules, I grew up in a very strict household, very strict high school. So it just kind of made sense. And like, when everybody else in the tour was like, oh my gosh, we have a curfew. And I'm like, why would you want to be out past 1? Like, what? And like, C of O's dress code was actually way looser than my high school dress code. Yeah. So like, I was just like, wait, like, you can wear shorts? Like, that's crazy. So I was like, I think this is the perfect place. I can take that next step and not feel like I need to like go through the whole like fraternity sorority thing. There's like no parties here. Like, we're very secluded away from like Springfield, where all the crazy kids are. So I don't know. I also was very much like a kind of like, have you seen Gilmore Girls?
Yes, but not all of it.
So very much like Paris. Kind of like Rory, but I don't know. More like Paris. So I was nicer than Paris, but just very like driven and strict with myself, and so my mom was like jumping up and down, like, "Yay! I don't have to worry about you, and I don't have to pay for your school either." So,
so they came and presented at your school.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember who it was?
See,
is it someone random?
Yeah. So I don't know if it was the same person that also did my interview. I do have to share my interview because, and I think I may have also said this last week, so sorry if you're having to listen to this again, but it's the best story ever.
Right.
So one of the questions in the interview, which, again, to answer your question, I never saw this person again. So either they left or there was somebody that, like, I never would have seen ever.
Or something, yeah.
So, because, like you said, like, we knew not only all the students, but, like, even all the staff, like, we're all just really close. But in my interview, one of the questions was, how do you practice modesty in your everyday life? And, like, he's trying to close because, I mean, we have a very strict dress code. Because normally colleges don't really have a dress code. Just please wear a shirt and shoes. I think is usually how it goes. But I said, well, I've always lived by the motto, you have to cover the 3 B's. And he goes, well, what are the 3 B's? And I go, oh, no. I have to say it? I thought you would just know. He's like, no, what is it? I said, and I was like, come here. And I whispered it to him.
Y'all are alone in an office?
Yeah.
And he made you whisper into his ear?
No, I didn't. No, I just kind of whispered, like, at him because I was like, I cannot believe I'm having to say this.
You might have done that intentionally.
No, I started it. He didn't start it.
Gotcha.
I said, come here. And he's like, what? He kind of leans forward. He leans forward, and I said, boobs, belly, butt. I just said boobs in my college interview. I'm never getting in.
I just want to know what he thought, what else the other 3 B's would have been. Like, back.
Biceps.
And belt buckle. Like, what do you think? That's hilarious.
I came out afterward, and I started crying. I was like, well, I'm never going to get it. I said, I'm never getting it. I said the word boobs. She's like, oh my God. How did boobs come up in the conversation?
She's like, you're hired. Welcome to CVO, ma'am.
Yeah. So, how about you? How'd you figure out about CVO?
Well, my mom brought it up to me, and I think, so as a person I went to church with, applied there and got in, and I think that might be how my mom found out about it. I don't know if she, like, stumbled upon it herself or, like, she heard through the grapevine, like, I lived about 3 hours south of CVO, and so it was, like, within range, but, like, kind of, I mean, it was obviously out of state because it's in Missouri.
You grew up in Arkansas.
Yeah, I grew up in Arkansas. So it was kind of like out there, but not too far. And I think she liked that it was close, because the other schools I was looking at was Mizzou and then Stevens College, which is an all-women's college.
Women's.
Right
I
next
looked
to
into that.
Yeah. I would have liked to go there. I really only found that place because they had a degree that I was wanting at first, and now I'm glad I didn't get that degree because it's a little bit, like, hyper specific, and I don't think I would have used it as much. But yeah, so she brought it up to me, and she's like, I really think you should apply. And at first I think I was just kind of like, no, like, I don't want to go there. Like, I wanted to go to the other place because it because of the degree, and also you could get credit off your, like, dorm payment for fostering a dog. So you could, like,
what?
They partnered with the local
Stevens?
Yeah, at Stevens. So they partnered with, like, the local animal shelter, and, like, if you fostered a dog in your dorm room, you got, like, $200 off a month or something like that, or, like, $400. And then in theory, you're supposed to take that money and apply it, like, towards, you know, the dog, like the food and the toys and, like, all that stuff. It's like dog credit.
That's crazy.
I liked that. I don't know. I liked the area. But I remember learning later, like, Mizzou has, like, some of the highest, like, sexual assault rates in, like, all Missouri and maybe all schools. It's really high there. So maybe it was, like, for the better that I wasn't in that area. But yeah, she made me apply, and I mean, like, not made me, but, you know, I willingly did it. But with some, you know, I was reluctant a little bit. But yeah, I just remember growing up and like my parents had student debt, and so
Mhm.
I saw like how long it took for them to pay it off, and I knew kind of how serious it could be, and I was like, you know what, I'll try it and I'll apply, and I got in, but I got waitlisted, so I didn't come in
Mhm.
the fall. I went in the spring,
Mhm.
which was a little different, but I think I was meant to be there at that time, so it
Yeah.
worked out. But yeah,
So
so that's kind of
you
why I
didn't
went
even, and you graduated technically a semester early, right? Or did you graduate with me?
in college or high school.
College.
No, I graduated in May of 21, and that's when I was supposed to. And you graduated December 21?
Yeah, but I started a semester earlier than you.
Yes. But I took credits. Like I took like a local like community college credits that first semester.
Oh.
So I went to like college like at home,
Oh,
but
okay.
I still was only able to transfer 9 of those credits because I
Wow.
took English
Mm-hmm.
1 and it
None.
didn't transfer. And there's
Yeah.
something else I took that didn't
I don't
transfer,
think
but
any English credit transferred for comp.
no.
They loved torturing us with
Yeah.
it.
Okay, so after I was like accepted, right? And
Mm-hmm.
well, I had to do the interview, which I think I just kind of blacked out during that. Like I don't remember much of it. I remember that day and like going there and I was wearing like a blazer. I was so
Mm-hmm.
dressed up. But I guess it went well, obviously, because I went in. I don't really remember it though.
Mm-hmm.
But after I got in, that was like the first big thing I heard about CEVO. I was like, oh, their English program. Like it's so hard and like
Really?
everyone flunks out of it. And I'm like, great. So, but yeah,
Dang.
I
I
think.
remember it was in the paper, I'm pretty sure. Like, there was an
Mhm.
article about it.
Yeah, well, I think there was a huge donor that wanted the school to like revamp their writing department or like their English
Oh.
department or something like that. And so they made it like super hard, but then like 50% of people were failing. So,
Yeah. And, like, they prided themselves on
hmm
it. And to me, like, going into teaching, like, as my career, I'm like,
yeah.
I would get so mad. I would leave my education class where I just had to write a lesson plan and write a
hmm
rubric and all this stuff, and then go to a gen ed class
hmm
where they're like, okay, you're gonna write a paper about this. I'm like, okay, where's the rubric? And like, what's that? I'm like,
Yeah,
how do I know more about teaching than you?
right. And they're a doctor. They have their doctorate. Really
And
good.
I'd be like, this is not fair. Like, you need to say what you expect.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, you just have the prompt. I said, that prompt is vague, and I need to
Yeah.
know, like, I just get so mad. So then I'd go back to my education professors, and they'd be like, oh yeah, we try to tell them all the time how they can be better teachers, and they
Right.
just don't care. And
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
Yeah, you're telling them that they suck at their job.
Yeah, I bet they love to hear
Right.
that.
No wonder they didn't listen to you.
Yeah. So a little part of your history is
Mhm.
that you were homeschooled your
Mhm.
whole life. So, or your whole kindergarten through
Yeah.
senior year.
Mhm.
So, what was something like what was a culture shock? What's something you had to learn like now living outside the house? And I mean, I'll share mine too,
Yeah.
but yeah, going from because were you had a co-op though,
Yeah.
right? So you weren't home like every single
Yeah.
day.
Yeah. I lived in a not a huge city, but big enough that like we had a home church that's pretty sizable. So I
Mhm.
had like quote unquote socialization there. I think that
Mhm.
really helped with like interacting with peers my age, even though I wasn't in school.
Mhm.
And then I did go to some co-ops. So we had something called Academy that was like on Thursdays, and I would
Mhm.
have like actual like periods and like class like blocks in a study hall and that kind of
Oh
thing.
yeah.
And then Fridays I did like a science class with our 4-H center,
Oh cool.
and so that would just be like science all day.
Mhm.
And then um, we did like a Bible study too that was like in person with other people. So I got some like classroom experience, but none of it was like traditional. Obviously, like it was
Mhm.
held like at a church or
Oh,
at
okay.
a community center or like whatever, something like that, like some other
Mhm.
space that wasn't like a public school.
Yeah.
So I got a little taste of it, but not really until I went to CVO. And then you have, I mean, I feel like college classes are obviously different than like being in high school.
Yeah.
Like they can be at weird times and stuff, but then I finally had the consistent like 5 days a week you're going to class. So
Mhm.
that was a little bit of an adjustment. But
Which thankfully our college was so small that we
hmm
really didn't have like big lecture halls.
yeah.
That was really nice. I liked feeling like I had relationships with my
Mhm.
professors and they knew my name and I felt good about going to their office hours if I
Yeah.
needed to.
Yeah, I think we were lucky, in that sense, like, you mentioned how small the classes were, like, it was
Mhm.
a low, like, student to teacher, like,
Yeah.
ratio, so that's nice because I literally had one professor that, like, gave us her personal number, and she was talking about, like, investing, and, like, after you get your
Mhm.
first job, like, make sure you sign up for, like, the full matching percentage that your
Mhm.
company will offer you, like, if you put in 4%, then they match
Yeah.
it or whatever. And she gave us her number because she's like, if you're looking at the form and you get confused, call me. And I'll like
Aw.
tell you, like how to do it. Or would, told us she's like, text me a picture and
That's
I'll
so
like literally
sweet.
like point out like which boxes to fill out, like what to put and like that kind of stuff. And so it was like
Aw.
very personable. And so that's
Yeah.
nice. And then, like you said, I think community, like you have smaller dorms, smaller
Mhm.
classes.
Yeah. And
And so,
I
yeah,
did BSU and Chi Alpha, which
yeah,
I BSU was a little bit intimidating to me, though it was like the cool people.
yeah.
And then Chi Alpha was definitely the weirdos.
I hate to confirm, but
And BSU was so far. You drive
yeah,
so far.
literally.
It's like Wednesday night at 8 o'clock or whatever, and I'm like, it's like 7:30, and I'm like
Right.
in my PJs, and then everyone's like, "We're going
Go
to
to
BSU," and I'm
BSU.
like, or no, it was at 9. I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
because
I
it
think
was
it
kind of
was.
late.
It might have been, was it not 10? Or am I crazy?
We were there for a long
All I
time.
know is like, okay, so we had a curfew of 1 o'clock, right?
Mhm.
But Kanakuk in town, they had a curfew of 11. And I know
Oh
some people,
wow.
I knew a girl for a while that was working there and then was at BSU and she's like, we gotta go. Like our curfew's 11. So I think
Mm.
it started at like 9 then.
Yeah, maybe.
But
But it
no, it
was.
was like in a movie when they send out a search party for a missing girl. That's like what the walk was. Like, they're like, hey,
It was
like,
not a path. You had to
no.
like walk through fields and
They're like,
stuff.
get your flashlight
Yeah.
and we're gonna get on horseback and go out to the BSU house and bring some rations
You.
because you get out there and it was starving and there was like water and then watered down lemonade to drink.
Oh my gosh, I remember that. And I just remember I felt so cool. To me, and this is gonna make me sound so lame. To me, that was like the closest thing to a house party I ever got
Yeah.
to because it was a house. Like, so
Yeah, it
there
was
were
very cozy.
couches and like
Ping
blankets everywhere.
pong.
Yeah, and I would like lead worship sometimes, and like
Yeah.
it felt like I was in a band and we were
Yep.
having like a house party. It was just so
Yeah, I
fun.
agree. Like we would have like they had like the fire pit out back. They had like
Oh
games. Like sometimes they
yeah,
just have a game night and just going out there and playing
yeah.
games was fun. I miss it sometimes.
Aw.
Man,
And
I thought we were gonna like start. I thought we were gonna have this episode and like talk about like how traumatizing it was and how like crazy it can be. But we've only really talked about the good stuff and how much we miss it. So
I know. It really, and I think that's why the good memories are so, like, we're so fond of them because, like, to me, like, they just shine so much brighter because there's so much, like, there was a
yeah,
lot of darkness. But,
yeah, it's like your mind blocks that part out and then remembers the
yeah.
good, which I think is like really powerful. Like if you're going through something hard or
Hmm.
like going through a really rough season where you're like, damn, this sucks, and then damn, there's another
Yeah.
thing that really sucks, and like
Hmm.
I don't know, like it when I was there. I focused so much on the negative. I feel like that's all
Hmm.
I focused on, and like I feel like it was a way to like bond with your like classmates and like with your peers, and like
Yeah.
saying like everyone like agreeing that it like sucks and like complaining
Hmm.
about it like made you feel like more connected. But
Yeah.
really, like I feel like I wish I hadn't like focused on the negative so much because there was so much good in the moment, and
Hmm.
I even though I focused on the negative, like I feel like I still remember the good now. So
Yeah. And just like having your girlfriends just like right down the hall
mhm,
and just like packing like 6 or 7 girls in a room and just
mhm,
venting or doing homework
yeah.
together or watching a movie. Like, it really was the good old days.
Petting the hamster that someone snuck in. Good.
Yes. Oh my gosh. And the cats that were like on the farm that
Oh
they would
yeah.
sometimes like girls would try to sneak them in
Mhm.
sometimes. And then sometimes Foster would have skunks like
Oh
out right
gosh.
outside like by the bushes and
Yeah.
they would like, oh, this
There's a
girl
huge
got
skunk
sprayed one time.
population at CVO. What's up with that?
I don't
I
know.
don't know what
There was lots
drew
of
them
wild
in.
animals on our
Yeah.
tarantulas,
Oh my God.
hogs, cows. Yeah. Man, it just I actually took my friend on a tour, and I think I
Oh
said this
yeah.
last week too, but she it's one of those things that if you didn't go there,
Yeah.
you don't see how awesome it was.
Mhm.
Like, my friends low-key make fun of me, which is fine. Like, they had their version of college experience, which is like
Yeah.
them blacked out in the backseat of a car.
Right.
And no, we didn't have that experience,
Yeah.
but you know, we did
We.
have other experiences of
Yeah.
people dressing up in ghillie suits and chasing
Oh my
girls.
God. I remember that night. Oh my gosh.
Or
Yeah,
like
he came to. Were you at RD in Ashcroft at that time? I
not
was
an
living.
RD, RA.
Oh,
No,
okay.
I don't. I only lived in freshman dorms.
You never lived in
Fo-
Ashcroft?
no, or maybe
What?
I only lived in Foster, Memorial, and McDonald.
Really?
Yeah, I never
I
went
lived in
any
every
higher.
dorm besides maybe. No, besides McDonald. No, besides
Foster,
what's the other one? No,
Memorial.
Memorial.
You lived in Foster?
Uh-huh. I think it was before you. It was before you worked there.
So I must have been. Were you on the first floor?
Third floor. I was on the top floor, or not like the fourth floor,
Right.
but like the third floor.
When you first moved in?
Mm-hmm.
Must have lived in the same dorm.
Yeah.
I mean, the dorm building.
What floor
At
were
that
you on?
point,
That was spring 18.
I know I had Emily. It's Kaufman now. What's her? What was her last? Hendricks
Oh
as
yeah.
my RD. So I think second floor.
I had Hannah Banderman.
Aww.
Yeah, she was super sweet.
Dang. I didn't know we lived in Foster
Yeah.
together. We just didn't know each other.
Yeah,
Your Ashcroft room is so cool.
I loved that room. The bay windows.
Mm-hmm.
That's so cool.
Like, I don't know why the drawers like in the closet were so cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I liked our setup in there because we had like her bed against the wall, and then mine was like raised but not over her bed, so then we could put the couch underneath it. So
yeah,
that was fun.
That's fun.
Yeah.
It was just so cool. It was like, yeah, we're living on our own, but like you still had like, which you paid room and board, right? Because you did not work over the summer.
Correct.
So like that was like you didn't have to worry about like, oh my gosh, I gotta make sure I pay my electric bill, keep my lights on or whatever. Like it was just such a nice like baby step into adulthood, and I think, yeah, I feel like the actual like value of a degree, I think, is actually going down.
Yeah.
But just the experience that you gain, which we're coming from, the very obvious privilege of not having to pay for it.
Right.
But if it's in the cards for you, if you want to go, if you're debating it, I mean, just the experience of like there's nothing like it.
Yeah.
And you just learn so many things, and for some people you're away from your family, and so I just really liked that it was like that perfect middle step between teenager and adult.
Yeah, and I think that's where the frustration comes in with going to a school like that, because there was a lot of rules, and in some ways it's like we're being asked to step up and act like adults, but then we're being treated like children because of the rules. And I know like lots of people said that. Like I'm paraphrasing like pretty much every person that I talked to.
Because I mean, the college ran because of us. I remember because during COVID, it was like 3 months of or maybe 2 months, 2.5 months of like basically just the international kids being there. And like some other people who lived super far away.
And like the staff like running everything.
Yeah, and I remember they would like post videos of like professors out there like milking cows and stuff, like doing freaking Bible studies on the farm. Like what? And I remember we were so mad that they brought us back so soon.
Yeah.
But we were like, they can't run this place without us. Yeah. And they never thought that would happen.
And they knew it, yeah. I don't know. Like, it's definitely a huge transition. Like, I don't know. I think it was for some kids, especially more than others, who weren't away from family very much or weren't outside of their own town very much. It was really hard for them to come there and like establish a life outside of their small town and then like kind of stick it out and grow from there. So I was grateful that I was able to like build community.
Yeah.
And stick it out and not, just want to retreat home. So.
Yeah, because one crazy thing was that freshmen did not get to have their car except on the weekends.
We should go over the rules for the people who don't know.
Yes. Oh man. There and the craziest thing was that since I was an RA at a
Mhm.
freshman dorm, I would have to be part of the team that would share all
Yeah.
these rules with girls, and like we would make it playful and like, try to make a point as to why
Right.
the rule was there. But like their whole point was that like as freshmen we want to make sure that you're forming community and like
Yeah.
but I'm also like that was kind of frightening.
Mhm.
Which my car was not good enough to make it all the way to Branson, so I didn't
Yeah.
have a car. Which also I felt very trapped.
Yeah.
Because my family would have to drive all the way to Branson to
Mhm.
come pick me up and then take me back to job. Like
Right.
it was a lot. And then thankfully I crashed that car and they got a new one.
It all works out in the end.
But yeah, let's see. Okay, so then your sophomore year, you did get
Mhm.
your car all week long.
But you had to park it in $10 four, literally in the back 40.
And then like sometimes like I would try to give people rides because I would always want rides. Or if it was raining, oh my gosh. You had to go to 5 chapels, 5
Mhm.
convocations, and then 5 of your choice every
Yeah.
semester.
Yeah, every semester.
And it really stunk because, and I've gone to church my whole life. I love
Mhm.
church. I'm sorry, that chapel
It's
service.
so boring.
Uh, I'll never forget. I'll never forget. There was a sermon series or a sermon.
Yeah.
He was making some sort of like tie into going to the DMV, and he was like trying to get a laugh out of it, and we're all
Crickets.
like, "What?" I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're preaching to young adults.
Yeah.
Like, come on, we gotta get lively.
It was a beautiful chapel. The
Yeah,
music was
and
alright.
we had to do hymns.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The doxology.
Every time. And then the choir people are doing the harmonies to
Right.
try to stick out. And then like sometimes you couldn't get a spot. If you showed up
Right.
late, sometimes there wouldn't be a spot for
No,
you.
I remember the panic. That's why I liked living in McDonald. Because
Yeah.
you were like
Right there.
You could just like bounce over. But like the panic of
Mhm.
like if you were late, like
Was
good luck.
there? Oh, you had to scan your ID. That's what it was, and that would like basically get it onto your. Because
Yeah.
sometimes we would check. We'd have to check on
Yeah.
like COFO.student ID or
Campus
whatever
Web.
it was. Yeah, that's what it's
Yes.
called. Oh my gosh, it's all
campusweb.cofo.edu.
it's all coming back to me now. Yeah.
Oh, another rule.
Mhm.
No porn. No.
That took a jump.
I only thought of that because we were talking about the internet. They had Wi-Fi blockers that didn't allow you. I mean, like valid.
Yeah.
It didn't let you on Pornhub. It didn't let you on like porn sites.
Yeah.
It probably was reporting that if anyone tried.
Oh, probably.
Like, it was probably submitting it.
Yeah.
It also wouldn't let you gamble. And I was like, I went one day, this is like my first few weeks there. I tried to look up the Powerball because I'm like, well, I got a few extra dollars. Let me run up to the gas station and buy a ticket. It wouldn't let me, it blocked me from the Powerball website. What the hell?
What's so funny is that I think back on that, I'm like, well, duh, they wouldn't let you watch porn in college, but like, you know how normal that is,
right?
Like, quote unquote normal, like
right? How people normalize it.
I'm like, wait.
And if you told like anyone else, like especially if they like didn't grow up in a Christian household,
yeah,
or, like in that circle, and you're like, yeah, I was like for 4 years, like I wasn't allowed, like I was controlled. They watched my internet history and controlled what websites I went to. Like that's kind of wild. But and we can't even play bingo. Like that was part of the gambling thing. No bingo, no gambling. But I know that like the Branson bingo that people like actually win money at, and you could pay because it's like a form of gambling. So
yeah, wow.
And
I remember like with the drinking part, like because some people were of age.
Yeah,
you turn 21 when you're at C of O, and so like you couldn't. Not only could you not drink on campus, you also couldn't drink off campus,
even if you're 24 years old.
Yeah. Even if you had a family.
Yeah.
And like, I can't even imagine living on, like, being a professor and living on campus. Probably couldn't have wine, couldn't have any of that. And so, like, we would go to, like, Applebee's or something, or not Cece's, Chili's. And, we'd be like, there was somebody, I was with upperclassmen, they're like, yeah, one time, somebody, like, sat at the bar and had a beer, and Dean Sharp caught them and kicked them out. And I remember even, like, going down the liquor aisle at Walmart. We were like, oh my gosh, is anyone seeing?
It was like somehow, like, they had us convinced that there was this giant, like, web, like, internal web of, like, spies and, like, camera systems.
I'd see people sometimes.
Yeah.
When it was or whenever it was COVID and we were not allowed to work. But some of us were off campus.
Right.
Like, we had to pay our bills. One time, I don't remember her name. I can see her face right now. She was kind of evil. Somebody that was like, she wasn't a dean, but somebody up high. She came into Vera Bradley, and I was working. And I'm like, I cannot be out there because they're going to know. And she's like, okay, just stay back here and I'll let you know when she leaves. Like, you know, like stuff like that. It's just like crazy. Like, it's college. Like, people literally show up to, like, at state colleges. Yeah. They show up to class hungover. They show up to class drunk. They show up to class high.
They get arrested and then get released the next day and go to class.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like,
it was like smoke-free campus, alcohol-free
campus. Which that
was
nice. I hate smoke.
Yeah,
I
do like that.
all that stuff.
And then fairly strict dress code. I mean, I guess not as strict as some, like you said. Like,
I mean, for a college, it was very strict. Yeah. Like, no holes in your jeans, I'm pretty sure. Or was that? I know that was in high school. Yeah.
Well, maybe, I don't know. Definitely no leggings.
Yeah, that was a big thing.
Like, in some workstations, you couldn't have, like, certain tattoos. Like, you couldn't have any tattoos showing. Piercings, you could only have, like, your lobes pierced. Couldn't have unnatural colored hair.
Yeah, guys had to have, they couldn't have their hair past their ears.
Or touching the back of their shirt collar.
Yeah, so, like, every other guy was, like, a barber. Yeah. They'd be like, yeah, go to so-and-so.
Like prison. Because, especially when COVID happened, you couldn't leave. But you had to get a haircut or else you'd get in trouble. Yes. And so they were literally, like, bartering and, like, doing haircuts.
Dude, I was doing...
That unlocked a memory.
Oh my gosh.
I remember not only cutting hair. I mean, I didn't do it. I was watching someone get their hair cut and then they also, like, dyed it. Right. Do you remember that? Maybe you weren't there. It was in the Kels lounge. Someone was dyeing their hair.
I don't think so. See, I was, like, hardly on campus during COVID because we were already off campus, and it was just so stupid. Like, I get it. Nobody knew what was going on. Nobody knew how to, like, handle it. But, like, commuters and staff were going on and off campus.
Right.
Why not let the residents? I swear to God, I would have died of starvation. I'm pretty sure. Because I would always go to McDonald's. I'd always... Because the cat food was just, like, not it.
Yeah, the cat food at the time was wild. Like, I have some pictures of stuff, and I'm like, this isn't even edible. Yeah. And I would end up just eating, like, the protein portion because literally nothing else was good. Like, everything else was disgusting.
I'd usually eat cheese pizza, fries, and pecan pie and chocolate ice cream.
The dessert bar? Oh my God.
That pecan pie was so good.
The thing I probably interacted with the least was, like, the sandwich bar, but I was, like, I was in that, like, home style line every day, or the international, whatever that was.
Yeah.
And then, pizza I would get a burger all the time. Oh my God.
I just remember, also, was it at breakfast they had the omelet station?
Yeah.
I am, like... I'm just now loving omelets.
Right.
And I'm like, I really just didn't have omelets my whole time at CFO.
Yeah.
So it was, what was over here?
It was like...
drinks over here?
Yeah, it was like drinks and then the sandwich.
Oh, yeah.
Sandwiches and then, like, home style or, like, international.
I don't know what was here when it wasn't the omelet station.
I think it was like, that was where, like, the burgers and fries was.
Oh, right? Yeah.
And then it went to pizza. And I feel like there was something else after that, or was it desserts?
I think just desserts after that. And then the salad bar was in the middle.
Oh, salad. That's right. Yeah.
And they had the cereal in the middle, too.
Yeah.
God, I get cereal all the time.
Like, I didn't take advantage of the fact that there was just, like, fresh salad ingredients out every day. Like, now when you go to make a salad, I have to get 9 things out of the fridge. I have to get 4 things out of the pantry. It's, like, an ordeal to, like, make a salad.
I know. I'm like, man, just give me a week. I see if I'll do it so different.
Yeah.
Like, I take advantage.
Brookies. You remember the brookie things?
Oh
the brownie cookies? Yes. I would go up there, get, like, 3.
Weren't they kind of in, like, a muffin tin? So it was, like, kind of thick?
They're like a brownie bite.
Oh, my God.
And then I would, like, shove, like, 4 in my backpack and then leave. We're
getting ice cream cones all the time.
Yes. There was a period of time where I was obsessed with brookies in the bad. But I think that goes back to what you're saying about, like, convenience. Like, not only
Mhm.
is, like, the food's convenient. You don't have to cook anything.
Mhm.
Like, your friends are convenient. They're right there. You don't have to go anywhere.
Mhm.
Like, all your entertainment is convenient. Like, they
You had
always
events
had,
all the
you
time.
had, like, a coffee house. You had a BSU night. You had a game night. You had a glow war. Yeah, mud
Mudfest,
fest. There was always
the
people planning
war.
stuff for you,
Yeah.
which I think people don't talk about enough. Is, like, you become an adult and it's like, you don't have really easy access to anything like that
Mhm.
anymore. You really have to go out and find, like, okay, free events in my area,
Yeah.
like places that are playing live music, like
Mhm.
something like that, and really
Yeah.
push yourself to go out there and do it versus walking outside your dorm and it's like happening on your lawn.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like we had so much energy in college.
Mhm.
You would get up. So at one point my favorite work shift was 6 to 2. I loved that work shift because I would
Yeah.
get there. I mean, definitely waking up sucked. I would sleep in my work clothes.
Yeah. Oh my
I
god.
literally all I had to do
Yeah.
was wash my face, brush my teeth, and go.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
And those work clothes are not comfy. It was
No.
like dress pants or like restaurant pants
dress slacks and a button-up shirt
and a belt. And those god awful
with the
shoes.
black knee-high socks. And your non-skid shoes were on.
I just felt so bad for the people who worked on the farm because their shoes would stink so bad. And then your roommate didn't work on the farm.
It smelled like cow. No, I literally had a roommate one summer and she worked on the farm. Did she put her stank ass shoes in the bathroom? And I'm like, this is the shared space.
They should
Go
just have
outside.
I think they should have a mud room. They should just keep their shoes there.
Yeah.
No.
Leave them at the farm. Wear a different pair of shoes down
exactly. Or bring some slides or something. But yeah, so I would get up, work from 6 to 2, then I'd have class from so I'd have a lunch break at some point. I think I had a breakfast break. I don't know. And then I would go to class from well, honestly though, what was nice about the work shift though was that really there was no customers until like 11 or something. So it was all just prep. Right. Nobody we're all just listening to music, we're just talking, no like stress or anything. And then I'd have class from like 2 to 5 or something. Yeah. And then I'd go to the cafe, eat dinner, and then like I'd either do homework all night, I'd be hanging out with my friends all night, or I would be at an event. Like there was really not like the only time I was really like lonely was like maybe on like a weekend when a lot of people went home. Right. Like there was just so much to do, and now I get up at 7, go to work, come home, and the idea of trying to go do something.
Yeah. To go out one night a week, it's like, oh my god. Yeah. How will I recover from this? I'm like calling in sick to work because I went out to trivia night.
No. And sadly, part of it is, I think, financial too. Because it's like, usually lots of social things have food. Exactly. And you buy food or you buy a ticket somewhere. Right. And so, just like having that so readily available on college campuses where you don't have to pay anything. Right. I've never thought about that before. They would have like popcorn bar or a trail mix bar.
And it's a lot of hard work to plan all that.
So it wasn't just the students U. It was also the RAs. Yeah. Would do stuff for their floor. Oh, I used to have so much fun. Yeah, like doing that stuff.
Your dorm would have stuff. Sometimes your like sector of like degree would have stuff. Right? Like
sometimes your work.
Yeah, your workplace. There was always like events at work. They'd have a Super Bowl party. They'd have like a student appreciation party.
Oh my god, that Super Bowl party was so fun.
Oh my gosh.
And like the harvest thing that they did that one year.
Yeah.
Dang. It was so fun.
Yeah. So
well, I kind of feel like I don't know. We've answered a lot of questions. Is there anything that either a question or a story you want to share that you were thinking of?
Do you have any horror stories?
Oh gosh.
Any of like the lows?
So many.
You know what we need to talk about? Okay, so I moved from Foster to McDonald, right?
Yes,
you did the same thing. Okay, we need to talk about how that place was haunted.
See, I never experienced it, but I need you to share your experience.
Okay, maybe I was imagining it then.
Well, I remember other people would too. So like, it wasn't just because it used to be. No, it was above the clinic.
Yeah. Well, no, it used to be like hospital rooms.
Yeah.
Because if you go to the on-site museum that tells like the story of like school.
Mhm.
There's a picture in there, and it's like, this is the McDonald like hospital. It was, like,
Infirmary.
yeah, the infirmary, literally, and they have someone who's like sick and dying in the photo on a cot, and then they're like, this building was then turned into a women's dorm, and I'm like, oh
Thank
my
you.
gosh, that's where I live. One benefit to living there was the water was like scalding hot, and I think it's because it was like attached to the clinic, and so like the clinic had to have hot water or something.
Mhm.
Just
And it was just one floor, so nice. Yeah.
There was only like 60 girls in there. The
Mhm.
rooms were like a little bit bigger than the freshman dorms, but
Yeah.
still kind of small. They were like easy to clean.
Mhm.
I had like a corner unit, and so we had
Mhm.
like the windows out both sides. I
Yep.
loved my view. We
And you're so
stacked.
central to everything too,
Yeah.
which is nice.
Yeah, you're really central. I was so central that I would wake up for my 8 a.m. class at like 7:55. I would roll out of bed.
In your clothes.
Yeah, in clothes. I would like throw on some clothes, not even grab a backpack, walk to class, and I would sit there for like 10 or 15 minutes. I would leave and go back to my dorm to get breakfast.
Oh my
I would walk out of
gosh.
class, like as if I'm gonna go take a bathroom break, and walk to my dorm, and then like I get like a yogurt and like a coffee and eat it real quick and then go back.
That's insane.
And I'm sure they saw me walking across the courtyard through the photos. I mean, through the windows.
That is crazy.
But yeah, it was very central. But anyways, no. So I remember like seeing that photo in the museum. I'm like, oh, that's where I live. Like it used to be an infirmary, and then there was one room that was closed off that we called the Ryan Reynolds room.
Yes, because I had the Green Lantern poster.
Yes,
on
I had
it.
a poster on it of Ryan Reynolds as Green Lantern, and like the rumor was someone died. There was a death, and which I don't know if that's true or not, but
it was like, did you ever see it open?
it was just like a computer room, right?
Yeah.
I remember asking about it. I don't know who I asked.
Because some IT person had to come in.
Yeah.
And they did not say man on the floor. And so I just find them on our floor.
Man on the floor!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because men and women did not mix.
Yeah.
In this
That's another thing
campus.
that people are kind of surprised about is like all women's or all men's dorms, because some schools have like co-ed floors.
Mhm.
Isn't that crazy that a man could just like walk through your floor?
Walk into your room.
Yeah.
You would, sometimes people would like go into their college dorm room and their roommates having sex.
Oh God.
I'm
I couldn't imagine.
One of my high school frenemies, whatever, she went to UMKC and she saw that one time and she literally called her advisor, said, I'm leaving.
I'm calling the police.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
Or like even just trying to like get out of the shower like in a communal bathroom. Like, oh
that
no.
freaks me out.
I had one of those like Velcro ones.
Yeah, I'd wear my robe everywhere.
Yep.
Yeah, but anyways, water was hot, close to everything, decent sized rooms, and yeah, so there was the room where someone apparently died. And I don't know if that had to do like with anything, or maybe that just freaked people out and that's why they'd see stuff, but like the dorm was set up where there was like one long hallway and then two like wings, like two little hallways.
With like 4 rooms.
Yeah, like literally just a little segment that like came off the main hallways, and I was at the end of one of those little segments. So if it was late and I was studying and my roommate was asleep, because she worked the 6 to 2 shift like that semester too, so she'd go to bed early, I'd be sitting out in the hallway and I'd be like looking down at my book, and I swear I would see people like walking across the entryway to the hallway. It's like they were walking up and down the main hallway, and I would like see something and like look up and they like wasn't there.
Oh my!
And it would be like late, like 2 or 3 in the morning, and so I'm like, like you wouldn't like hear footsteps or anything, but you just see it. And then I know that the water fountain would run on its own, like without anyone pushing it. And then 2 friends of mine were like leaning up against the wall in the hallway watching a movie, and from like directly behind them they heard someone say like hello, like whispered like hi, and they like it like scared them because there was like they're up against the wall, but it sounded like someone was like right there.
Oh, creepy.
That was their story. And then there was another one, a friend of mine was rooming with someone like kind of that she didn't know like super well, and like her roommate was like, you sure do like talk a lot in your sleep. And she's like, I've never talked in my sleep. She's like, I, like grew up like living with my sister, and like she never mentioned that. Like, I don't know who you're hearing talk at
Whoa.
night, but, like, I'm pretty sure I don't talk in my sleep.
Yikes.
Stuff like that. And then the basement was, like, super creepy, too.
Oh my gosh, so creepy that they had a
The
literal
haunted
haunted
house.
house in it!
Like, oh, yes, the perfect place to set up the haunted house. It's
An
actually
already
haunted.
place.
Literally. Like, we don't even have to decorate.
Oh my
It's just
gosh.
already
Wouldn't
creepy as
they
hell.
also have, like, a military training down there? I
don't
remember
know.
that.
Like a special forces something. They had, like, a rave down there once.
Like the Gold Star or the Gold... It was kind of new. Not Gold Star family. That's something else.
Yeah.
It was like... I don't remember. Well, I do have a horror story from McDonald, actually. So I was... when I lived there, I lived with someone I was paired with randomly. We were both maintenance at the dorm. And she was very sensitive to light whenever she was sleeping. So it was 2 RAs and 2 maintenance. And so on like every weeknight, you had to have a night shift.
Yeah.
And then in the weekend, you would like take turns taking the whole weekend of having night shifts, which that was not fun. So there were so many nights though where like we would be like out having fun and we would be racing back to see if we would get back on time. So the night shift was 9 p.m. to 1 a.m.
Damn.
Basically so that you can catch people like coming in past curfew.
Right.
So, and like helping them with random things like change for the laundromat, you know, just like random stuff. Like
you remember the vending machine in McDonald's? How it wasn't a real vending machine, it was just a cabinet and they would give you money.
Oh my gosh.
To get stuff out of the snack cabinet.
Stuff all the time.
Oh yeah. I would too.
If I knew there wasn't gonna be a consequence, or like I would be like, I'll pay this back later. Like I would make myself a note, like I would pay it back in like 2 weeks when I got paid. I forgot about that. Yeah. It was so janky in there. So so you'd work 9 p.m. to 1 a.m. And then which so much of it was at 1 a.m. or 12:55 shooing out all the boys. Which thankfully at McDonald's we didn't have any. Like, we didn't have a lounge like that. But at Foster it was definitely like that. And or enforcing quiet hours, which was not fun. So whenever I would get off from night shift, I would sneak into my dorm room, being very quiet, you know, very, very considerate of my roommate. Yeah. And the thing about the dorms was that the lights were always on, full blast. Yeah. I mean, like night and day, they're always on. And even like cracking the door, like it would almost illuminate like the whole room. But I'm such a heavy sleeper, and I sleep on my face. Like I don't even know what's going on in the room when I'm asleep. So she was very light sleeper, and so I'd crack the door, and I kind of like shimmy in, just really trying to be considerate, and I swear this is just a funny story. I'm not trying to say she's a bad person. She actually apologized for it afterwards. Aww. So no hard feelings, but this is just too funny not to share. The first time that like she woke up ever from the light, I'm gonna back the mic up. She goes, "Oh my god, turn the light off!" Like she screamed at me.
Yeah, as if that's not disturbing the peace. Yeah, the light's the issue, not someone screaming bloody murder in the middle of the night.
I cannot even imagine waking up and the first thing out of my mouth is a screech. I'm like, I'm so sorry. And so then after that,
I'm just imagining, right? Like if it was a movie, the next step would be you like slam the door shut, and then you're like, okay, now I can't see shit.
Yes.
So like you're like you're like bumbling around and you like knock all this
shit. Can't even use my phone because and this poor girl, I mean, the way she would sleep, it really was. The second the door would open, it was right in her eyeball. So I kind of understand, but I'm like, go sleep facing the wall. Like
you like light a match. She's like,
So then after that, we had a really comfy couch in the office. So I would literally sleep in the office.
You're displaced because she can't stand the light.
Because that was back when I was a people pleaser and I could not stand confrontation. So the fact that someone screeched at me.
You could have come and slept in my room.
I know. We were like, me and Anna were really close. And you were close with like Gabby and Maddie.
Yeah.
And Anna too. So we were like almost friends. We were like, so close.
Yeah.
But not quite. There was just like my first interaction with you is something that you guys were putting balloons in your shirt or something.
Yes, to make it look like we had big boobs. Yeah. And then trying to pop them by like jumping on them.
And I was just like, y'all are crazy. When I was so crazy too. Yeah. But it was just...
We had a grand time there.
Oh my gosh. It really was a fun dorm. I feel like it was... I kind of wish... I mean, it would be crazy if all of them were that small.
Yeah.
But it was so fun.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
We would like roll down the hallway and like...
You know what? Something we haven't talked about yet was room checks.
Oh, yeah.
That was creepy as hell. And looking back, I'm like, what the hell? Because, so like, curfew was 1 o'clock, and that was like, you're supposed to be on campus, but I think you're also supposed to be in your dorm by 1, right? Mm-hmm. And like, so they would do random bed checks. They'd also do random drug tests and random like stuff like that. But no, they did random bed checks where they would come around to every room and open the door. Would you imagine your roommate screaming because they opened the door? Right, yeah, she's in there screaming bloody murder. But yeah, they would come in and open your door and look in your bed and like make sure you're in there. And I remember most of the times I think I slept through it because I'm also a pretty heavy sleeper. I remember one time like sitting up and looking over, and it was my RD, but then also Dean Sharp, our male like student. What was his position? Dean of students. Yeah. And just looking at you, and it scared the hell out of me. Like it's just kind of weird looking back on it now. And you would just roll. They wouldn't say anything. They would just look at you because they didn't want to disturb anyone. So they just look at you and walk out. Super weird.
Yeah, there was, I think they would do room checks before men's open house and women's open house too. Because one time, I think like my friend Maddie had made like a funny poster and put like a shirtless guy and like put someone's face on top of it or something goofy, and I had it hung up, and he goes, "You have to take that down." Oh my god! Like you know, just like. Yeah. But they would have weekly room checks too. Yeah. So those were like every once in a while. But weekly, we had a cleaning list that we had to get done every week.
Written by the Navy is like, literally it was like no specks of dust on the back of your toilet or behind your toilet where no one ever sees. I'm so glad I never had to clean a bathroom. And then also they're like, your bed has to be tucked in, like military style. Like
nothing hanging over the edge.
It had to be tucked in tight. Vacuum, dusted, trash taken out. Yeah.
They would lift things off of your shelf and check for dust under it. Yeah. I remember there was this poor girl, Angelique, or Angel. She had OCD, and she just would get like so freaked out whenever she'd come back and her stuff was moved. Yeah. She didn't like it. Like, it's just like, that I think was kind of got less and less over the time that we were there even. Yeah. But it was wild.
I'd always clean the room, and if I had time around the room checks, like, because they were usually at the same time every week, if I, like, had time surrounding that, I would, like, stay in there, and I would, like, clean everything, and then I'd get in bed and, like, pretend to be asleep. Oh, yeah. Because then they would do it really quick, because they're trying to not disturb you, so they'd be like, oh, they come in, and they just, like, kind of do it really quick and leave, and then your bed doesn't have to really be made up. Yeah. You're in it. So, yep. That was my cheat code.
That was definitely something I had to do as an RA, and you would have, like, a thing on the back of your door with, like, pass or fail, and if you failed
3 times
in a semester, you'd get kicked out, right? Yeah. Or you'd have a meeting with Dean Sharp.
I think you got kicked out.
Yeah. I think even after 2, I think you had, a meeting with
There was so much stuff where you could get totally kicked out of school. Like, they really used fear tactics to get us to, like, do what they want. Yeah. Like, missing class a certain amount of times. Yeah. I think I was lucky I had a lot of professors that didn't report that, but I think the rule was, like, if you missed it 3 times in a semester.
Yeah. Dude, I would skip PT all the time. They never took attendance, and I got 100% on my grade card for it, so. Dang. do have another horror story from when I lived in the loft at Memorial.
Oh, yeah.
So this was like a random summer assignment. I was an RA at Memorial, and because I was like trying to become an RA, but I was like, sometimes you have to kind of like do your work of being a maintenance first, and then you get to be an RA. And so I got the summer gig as an RA first. And so I like, that's the other thing about SEVO. I moved almost every semester. It was crazy. I was getting moved all the time. And so we got up to the loft. It was just me and Lindy for the summer. This is the first time that I had a lofted bed that didn't have a railing on it.
Oh,
because that was a thing that parents really complained about, and then we got them finally. We got enough for everybody to have one. But at this point, Memorial didn't have them. So I was sleeping, and I remember I like rolled, and then I rolled off the bed.
Oh my god.
But my body was like, oh, we'll protect you by like kind of going up straight, kind of.
Yeah.
Like,
I think I remember this.
Yeah, like, so like I didn't land on my side. Like, I didn't land horizontal. My body got itself vertical before I hit the floor. But in that process of like my legs swinging under me, I had just gotten a pedicure, and and my toenail like ripped on the carpet, and it cracked my toenail in half.
Yeah, I think I remember
horizontal.
Ugh. Oh, it's giving me chills.
It was so, I mean, it was not even anywhere near the end. It was straight in the middle of my toenail. And you don't really keep your toenails that long either. Yeah. So really, like, anything...
It's making my toes hurt.
And I just start crying, and it's bleeding profusely, but I'm, like, so asleep. So there's 4 beds in the loft, because it's really big. And so I literally just I limp over to the empty bed that has no sheets, nothing, just a plain mattress, and I just crawl into that mattress and just cry until I fall asleep, because I'm like, I'm not dealing with this. My toe's broken, because I hadn't looked at it yet. Yeah. My toe's broken, I'm not dealing with this, I'm going back to bed. Then poor Lindy, she hears all of this happen. She hears me crying.
She's like, must have been the wind.
And she comes over to me, and I apparently am already asleep or something. I don't know.
I'm impressed by how fast he went back to sleep.
I was so tired, I guess. But I guess I was like looking. She comes over to the bed, and she's just kind of looking at me.
Yeah.
And I may have been crying in my sleep, because I remember I was crying whenever she was like standing over me. But she's like, I don't know what to do. Like, she's just kind of like looking nervously at me, and she sees my toes gushing with blood, and she's like, I don't know what to do. And like, she just kind of stared at me for a while, and then she just went back to bed. She's like, I don't know what to do. And like, it was crazy. And I went to the clinic, and they're like, of course, student nurses. Right. So they're like, there's nothing you can do about that. Yeah. Just soak in salt water, I guess. I'm like, what?
Keep it really moist.
That'll help. They're like, it'll fall off on its own. I'm like, what? So yeah, it was awful. But so many girls in foster, especially, would fall off their bunk bed, hit their head on their desk, and have seizures.
Yeah, like, didn't that happen? And then someone also like broke their leg falling off.
Yeah, so we were painting in foster, and they were on the ladder, and we had the ladder on the stairs. Oh, gosh. It was not a ladder made for that.
Right.
So we were all just like, Jenna had gone to a meeting, and our RD at the time went to a meeting, and I go to shake this gallon of paint, and then the lid flies off. Oh my god. The paint goes all over the tile, and I'm like,
were you alone?
No, it was with everybody. And I'm like, oh no, I'm gonna get down. And so we got the water sucker up thing, like the shop vac, and shop vac, which I'm like, I don't think you're supposed to do that to paint. The inside of the shop vac is beige. And then we were like scraping it off when we're like, okay, we got up all the stuff that's wet. It's pretty much dry now. We're going to have to deal with this later. So then we get back to painting, and this poor girl, Erin, She gets on the ladder. We have it balanced on the stairs. She goes to reach over to the corner, and I said, Erin, wait. And I watch as, I wish you guys could see this, the ladder twists on itself, and she falls back first on the stairs, has a seizure. She broke 2 vertebrae in her back, and thank the Lord, thank you God, that Taylor Bart was there.
Oh my gosh.
Because Taylor was getting her nursing degree.
Yeah.
So she knew to, like, keep her head from hitting the stairs, and, like, help her not, like, all the stuff. And then I was in charge of calling the ambulance. Haley Harshaw was in charge of calling, like, Jenna and Dean Sharp. And so when Jenna gets there, she sees the paint on the floor, and she sees Erin's having a seizure. She's like, I left for one meeting! Like, what the heck? And it was so crazy. And, like, I had to stay on the phone with the ambulance until they got there. And I just remember I'm, like, pinching my neck because I faint so easy.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the easiest thing I could have fainted from because it was so traumatic. I mean, I'm not trying to make fun. It just genuinely was so horrifying. Yeah. The sounds coming out of her mouth were like zombie sounds.
Yeah.
I was just like, she didn't have words. I mean, when you're having a seizure, I don't think you can talk, you know, and, like, literally foaming out the mouth, like, so traumatizing. And I remember they had, you know, she went home, she had, like, a surgery or something, and they had her come back and keep working. Oh my God. But thank God they got her some job where she could be propped up in bed and just, like, do data entry or something stupid. Or she probably worked the freaking switchboard. Yeah, we had a switchboard.
That was, like, the coveted job.
Like,
you could watch Netflix.
We're, like, the 1800s. Oh my gosh. But yeah, that poor girl, I was like, you should get the whole semester off of working. Yeah. I mean, they could have been, well, it really was our fault for having the ladder on the stairs.
Girl, I mean, self-inflicted maybe, but, there's a girl who was, like, in a boot who worked in the kitchen, and they're like, yeah, you're still going to work in the kitchen, but you're going to sit on this chair and do kitchen stuff. Mm-hmm. And it was like, okay, the floor is wet. Yeah. Like, it's, I don't know. She had to walk up a giant hill to get there.
Yeah,
I'm like,
for real.
What's going on?
And ladies and gentlemen, that is actually all the time we have today. This episode was so good that I just had to break it up into 2 parts. We had over 3 hours of footage from this recording, so instead of paring it down to a digestible podcast episode, I thought, why would I, deprive you of that? So I decided to make it into 2 parts. So for the first time, this is part 1 of my interview with Katelyn Lionheart, and next week you will get part 2 where we talk about life after college, how we used our degrees, a dating update from myself. Katelyn talks about her relationship and her marriage, and finally just what we're watching, what we're listening to, what we're reading, that media roundup. So thank you guys so much for supporting and listening every week, and come back next Saturday at 8 a.m. for a part 2. Bye, guys.